What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another Midwest Beer Show here on Friday, September 5th. We are just about into the fall season, but Oktoberfest is here for the most part. So, yeah, it is the fall season. We don't have to wait till the 20th or 21st to actually sit back and enjoy. And we're going to get into some Oktoberfest beers tonight as we talk about some of the things coming out of the Midwest and whatever else we get into. There's some national stuff we'll take a look at as well. Kind of a slow beer news week this week, though. So we'll see what we can come up with from what we have and where we end up going. And hopefully you guys will be a part of it and ask us some stuff, because that'll help make the show even that much better by having you involved. Yeah. So, Dave, how are you doing this week, my friend?
Excellent. Cheers. Happy Oktoberfest. So,
Oktoberfest,
doing well here. Drinking a Great Lakes Oktoberfest right now.
Yeah, Dave's already poured his, so I haven't poured mine yet. He's already almost due his first, but technically I've already had a couple earlier. If you saw my post out back, I was relaxing with a cigar and a couple beers. So I had the Pipeworks one, the Lizard King, and I had one of the Yingling Oktoberfest. So I'm going to crack open some other ones here as well.
Before we get started, the Oktoberfest glasses, how many of those do you have in the house, Rod?
What do you mean by Oktoberfest glasses? As far as like the dimple mugs and
the big ass 40-ounce dimple mugs? Because I have a lot, and I look every year and say, why do I get more of these? Because you never drink them. They sit up top there on the mantle, and I got a bad elbow. I can't lift that shit.
Yeah, you asked my wife about glassware. I got too much. I've got a good amount of cabinets in the kitchen to the new house taken up with beer glasses. Oktoberfest ones, I've got at least, I would say 2, maybe 3 of the liter ones that I got from what's the one that gives you the beer can and the glass every year? From Germany.
Paulaner.
Paulaner, yeah. So I got at least 3 of those, and I've got a couple other ones that are probably in there too. So yeah, I mean, overall, probably Oktoberfest glasses, I might have under 10, 5, 6, 7, 8. Other stuff, like I got way too many like shaker pint glasses, but that's from brewery logos and stuff on them. And then a lot of snifter glasses, because I drink a lot of the higher ABV type stuff. Try to have the hashtag proper glassware. And then some other fancy type stuff. I got a flange in there, which is one that's like that skinny glass that you can have, which is good for some styles. And total glassware.
Total.
Yeah, it's probably, I'd be maybe even cut myself short if I said 100 or so probably in there. Yeah, it's funny. I got into looking at like estate sales, and sometimes I'll go to estate sales and get some stuff and find some good deals like Steins and all that kind of stuff. And some of these houses got so many glassware. Like, man, they got a lot of glasses. Well, so when I pass away, somebody's gonna be like, this guy had a lot of glasses. I got enough to leave a nice collection in the will to somebody, right? So but I'm going to go ahead and reach into the fridge, and I'm going to grab an Oktoberfest beer, and I'm going to start out with one of the local ones here from Sonder Brewing. It is their Sonder and Friends Oktoberfest. I may have had this on the show last time we did it. The review will be up at some point. I was trying to get all Oktoberfest beers to come out maybe around the same week or so. But I am going to go ahead and pour this one. Sonder, they are here out of the Mason area. They do solid beers. One of their beers, not the Oktoberfest, that a lot of people know them for, is the You Betcha, which is a New England Hazy. So that's a real popular one as well. But this one here is Sonder and Friends Oktoberfest, as you can see there. So
nice looking label.
Yeah, nice looking label. German beer, food and music, 927.25. Sonder Beer Garden. So they're going to have their own Oktoberfest thing there. You can register for it and look to attend. If you want to do a 5K, they're doing that as well. So it's going to benefit greaterproject.org. So something here in Cincinnati. So nice independent brewery to start out the show with. And I've had the Oktoberfest from Great Lakes, which is also a nice one to sit back and enjoy.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites every year, like of the national brands. That's always a solid one to grab. So whenever I see that one every year, usually comes out August sometimes, I have to make sure I grab it because that's always a winner.
There you go. And cheers to Vanessa in the house. Great
Hey,
to see
Vanessa.
you, my friend. Hopefully you had a great Labor Day weekend. Hopefully you did too, Dave, as well. Coming off the holiday weekend.
Yeah.
Week was shorter, but it felt longer, I tell you. I know it felt long for you probably at the airport, but
You know what? Like normally I take my vacation this week, like Labor Day week, because it's the best week to travel. Once Labor Day hits, all the kids are back to school. So the flights are empty. Usually, no matter where you go, the weather's still nice and decent. So you could go somewhere and enjoy it. I didn't grab my vacation this year, but like Labor Day was busy at the airport. And then after that, it was a ghost town. Like you could throw a football down the hallway and it was quiet. Like today, I'm just sitting there like nodding. I'm like, I got to stay awake for that. I got a live stream coming out at 8:45 Central. Yeah.
So it's like once everybody got back home, that's
Yeah.
it. Wow. So for the flying and everything. Vanessa, I liked your titanium canteen video. One of my favorite titanium products companies. So there you go. And she was telling us she was going to do smoked brisket. She was telling us last week where me and Todd did the happy hour, and she said it was a hit. And I don't doubt that, Vanessa. Everything you make is a hit, I believe. So, we'll know all the stuff you make and cook and brew and everything you do. So I'm sure everybody really enjoyed it. Like, why would you not want to go to Vanessa's house to eat?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Nice one here. Nice maltiness and everything with the beer, which now we're getting into the cooler weather. I like having that maltiness at Oktoberfest, you know. They come out in August. It's kind of like still warm depending, although we got a little bit of a cooler last week, August, but now you start getting the fall and sitting outside, having one. It felt like it hit better, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Football's on the weekend, so
yeah.
Open on Oktoberfest, yeah.
Yeah, it just works. It's just that right time. It feels to be that right time of the year to actually sit back and enjoy. Now, Oktoberfest as a style is one I could probably drink at any point during the year. I know obviously it comes out that one time for the season, but it's a nice, malty rich lager to sit back and enjoy that can always, be welcome here.
But like we have a brewery here, Kishwaukee. Oh, pardon me. And they make the Marzen, Murzen, whatever you want to pronounce it. They make that style year round. And, I've had that and it's a great beer. But like, do you think if you were able to get this type of beer or a fest beer, if you will, year round, you wouldn't appreciate it as much this time because it's something, I could just pick that up anytime?
You're probably right. It probably would be a burnout type factor if you can get it all year round, because it does give you something to look forward to with the season. It's kind of like IPAs. I get burnt out on them more than anything else, right?
Yeah.
So because they're always out there. But yeah, I mean, I think so. I think that could be a style. It depends. I guess it depends. It's such an easy drinking depending who's making it. I prefer the Murzen more than the Fest beer. I actually ran a poll on the channel on the community post to see what people actually preferred. I prefer that. I prefer the more malty richness. Fest beer, still good, just a little more tempered down, but I like that one there. But only way to know if somebody does it all year round, we have to give it a try. I mean, you're lucky you have someone there that does it. I haven't seen anyone here in Cincinnati take that on yet. So
But it's weird, like, we were just talking, like, so I've been drinking a ton of them the last like week or so. The weather here has gotten cooler. And then last night it was like, damn, I want something with some hops. Like, so I had to grab an IPA. I'm like, I just need something with a little hop right now.
That kind of gives me an idea, because I actually do have some of the abstracts vials here where they actually can add those flavors into a beer. It's fully soluble once you put it in there, you let it sink in. And they have like Citra and they have Centennial and different ones. I wonder if I can try. I might have to do an experiment, try that with one of the lagers like Oktoberfest or something like that, and see how it performs. Because maybe I can make it a hoppier Oktoberfest beer, which I'm all about. Like I was always a fan of the IPL, even though we call it the cold IPA now. I was always a fan of that. So
now I'm going to have to grab another beer. So I'm going to be back in 2 seconds here.
Yeah. So yeah, Dave's gonna grab another one there. We're gonna actually both of us gonna take a look at the one from Firestone here tonight as well, which I did do the review on it, and Dave also did a review. But being Oktoberfest, figure we'll have one of those. Vanessa's doing the apple dumplings tomorrow. That sounds nice. Apple dumplings. You did smoked brisket. What else you got going on there? You're going to make me hungry again. I had Chinese food earlier for dinner, and as we all know, Chinese food doesn't stick around. So, Vanessa, you're going to make me very hungry if you keep talking about this other food, because by the time I'm done the show, I'll be ready to eat something else.
I just looked up on my screen and saw apple dumplings. I'm like, damn, I can go for that.
Yeah, that's what she's making this weekend. So, she's always got something good happening for sure. So, which one did you grab there? Did you grab...
You know what? I grabbed a solemn oath because I know we have one that we're going to talk about jointly together. So this is their Marzen solemn oath. It's a great brewery out of here. So the can art looks really cool. I have not had this one yet, so I'm looking forward to it. A lot of foam here. Good color, maybe a little lighter than like the Great Lakes, but still looks good.
Yeah. Now, with that, what is that? Fest beer style, or is it the?
No, this is the Marzen style.
Marzen? Okay, all right, yeah.
But that's good.
You got the proper glassware there too with it there.
See, I have like one from Off Color. And so this is like my only normal Oktoberfest style. Like I said, I got UCL issues. I'm going to have to go under the knife soon. Yeah, I can't be lifting those 40-ounce things. I can't do it. Like, I don't think Workman's Comp's going to cover that. So I got to go to a lighter glass.
Oh, that reminds me, since I got my glass of beer here, Dave was kind enough to actually put together Midwest Beer Show coasters. Look at that. Thank you, Dave, there.
Yes.
And I'm going to put my beer on the coaster there. The marketing genius that Dave is.
Oh, yeah. I've got a couple more. We could maybe send some to Vanessa.
Yeah. I'm sure Vanessa would like those.
Yeah. I'll hook Vanessa up.
But speaking of Oktoberfest, so the big thing upcoming here, if we want to jump into that, will of course be Oktoberfest Cincinnati. And I know people have heard me talk about this many a time before, but we do have the biggest Oktoberfest outside of Munich. So that is now about to kick off in a couple weeks, October 18th through 21st. In fact, that 18th will be the next beer show that we'll have here. But this is a great event. I mean, it's a matter of, if you haven't I've been to Munich, right? So I don't have that contrast to compare it, but I just know with this one here, over 500,000 is usually around the number that used to come in. And that might have been pre-COVID or whatever, but it's built back up again. And we get like tons of people, and we bring in the German breweries. With Oktoberfest, there's only like 6 actual breweries that are allowed to be at the one in Munich. And we actually bring them over here for this because of the ties to the German heritage they have in the Cincinnati area. So this is like a great time to come out. You see the Stein holding contest, the sausages, the dog races. So yeah, it's a great time. I mean, actually, I got my Oktoberfest hat here that I usually will wear when I go to it with the pins and everything. But the last pin I got was that one here from Germany that they actually have. But here you have the little dogs where they had the Datsun races.
Yeah, those wiener dogs.
Popular. Yeah, wiener dogs are popular there. I don't know if we'll get Joey Chestnut in this time. I haven't seen anything yet about him coming to town for the sausage eating contest, but last time I went, he actually crushed it. And it's kind of good. It's a free admission type thing. So you can go to the event and you just pay as you go, drinking and stuff like that. You don't have to worry about like buying drinking tickets or anything along those lines. Sam Adams is going to be one of our sponsors for it. And of course, they have the Sam Adams Tap House here. Jim Cook, being from Cincinnati, was something that he brought back to the city. So they have a lot of good stuff that'll take place. And, people don't talk a lot about their Oktoberfest, but I think they do a pretty good Oktoberfest beer themselves.
That's always been a solid Oktoberfest beer. And that's something like, outside of, people in Munich, that was probably one of the first craft Oktoberfests a lot of us had, because you could always get it. And it was just a great beer.
Mm-hmm. Always seems to deliver. I mean, obviously they're so big now, they can replicate and usually be fine doing so. But yeah, that's just one that's always a nice one to have. Like I said, the dog races, the bratwurst, the pretzels, everything they got going on. And then what else they got on this one here? The different entertainment. So you still have, like I said, the German breweries will be here, but they'll have some of the craft breweries that'll be there as well.
Yeah, I saw Sonder was going to be there. You just had the Sonder. I saw they were going to be there, and Rheingeist and a lot of the local area breweries too.
Yeah, it's like your name's Rheingeist. You almost have to be there.
Yeah.
So, yeah. You can't really take a pass on it. I'm like, this is your one event you need to really be at.
Yeah.
So I've never done the Steinholden competition. That would be kind of an interesting one to kind of do. I've had friends that have done it, and I've actually had one, his wife ended up winning the women's competition doing it. But those do get heavy after a point, I know, when you're standing up there. I'm probably too busy trying to drink too much beer.
Yeah,
lots of entertainment. That takes my attention away.
That got to happen here.
Of course, you get the polka and stuff like that. You get the chicken dance and things they do. So
now, isn't that like the world's largest chicken dance that I was reading?
Yeah, world's largest chicken dance they've had here. Also, Hofbrauhaus is right across the river, so Hofbrauhaus is usually a part of it too. So they usually have stuff happening. There's just a lot of fun craziness that takes place with it all. This is like some of the entertainment from some of the acts and stuff that'll be there as well. But it goes that Thursday through the Sunday, and the beer guide, they have that added here to the site as well. So Braxton, and we're going to talk about the garage beer here in a little bit too, but it's funny because all the stuff that are happening here, you'll see in this picture, Braxton Brewing and garage beer. Yeah. And I tell you, people talk about, the Kelsey brother. I'm like, dude, I was here when it was originally crafted. Braxton was the one that originally came up with it that ended up selling it off. I mean, great story behind that beer. You got Erdinger will be here. You got your craft ones here, Mad Tree, Grey Works, Fretboard, 50 West. There's Rheingeist, like you mentioned, Sam Adams, Redeberger Group. You have the Molson Coors family. Founders, you mentioned Spaten, Stiegel. Yeah. I've never heard of Stoop Days before. West Side, Weissstefan, Vorsteiner. The cool thing is when they come over, it's not just the Oktoberfest beers they bring. So they'll have Keller beers or some of their Dunkels and stuff. And you don't usually see them in stores. So you get a chance to really experience some different things. And it's a totally great experience to go to if you get a chance.
Now, you mentioned it was free admission. So you pay as you go. You get full pours or you get half pours? Because I think if you're getting full pours, you're going to be out of there pretty quick.
No, you get full pours when you go in the line. At least last time I went, it was pretty much a full. I would say they use 12 or 16 ounce cups. They might give you a choice of large or small, but yeah, you get the full pour though. It's not like a little glass or anything like that. And then you got so much food there. People are soaking it up like crazy too. They have a lot of seating where people sit down, they eat the sausages, they eat pretzels, they eat all this other stuff in between, sauerkrauts all over the place. So it's a crazy festivity. But
Frank Sauerkraut's one of the sponsors, so you'd have to have that.
You got to have that. Yeah. So this right here is my Oktoberfest hat that I usually will don as well. To people So the one pin here that I've got there, that was actually what I got last Oktoberfest from one of the German vendors. And I kind of throw it on there and kind of go around. And it's so funny because sometimes I'll get stopped and people are like, can I take a picture with you and your hat and stuff like that and everything. So it's pretty cool. Yeah. And then I got another jacket I'll usually wear that might have the pins on it. Depending if it's cool. If it's not cool, I'm not wearing a jacket. It's just too much happening. But it's a blast. It's a great time and great turnout usually, and chance to find out more about the beers. They have different sessions there where a lot of breweries will talk to folks about the beers taking place, and you can find out a lot of good information and stuff too. So I'm looking forward to being back and being able to go to that.
Now it's right. for looking at the website, it's right next to Great American Ballpark. Are the Reds playing that weekend, or they usually try to schedule it when the Reds are out of town? Yeah,
I hope they're out of town because
Yeah.
Cincinnati in itself is bad enough for traveling around town.
yeah,
And Cincinnati is known to have like 4 or 5 events on the same weekend, and it gets a little crazy. But
yeah.
I also look at the schedule because the Bengals are right down there too. So
Yeah.
the spot is in between the Bengals and the Red Stadium. And then we also have the soccer team here now too. They're not downtown, but people will come in to see them play, and they're probably about 3 or 4 miles away from downtown.
Okay.
So you got a lot of stuff happening. Now, if you drive Uber and you drive Lyft, it's a great weekend for you because they make they ratchet up the prices. And people are like, well, I can't drive if I'm drinking. So a lot of those drivers make some good money that weekend for sure. Sure, the taxi drivers hate those guys at that point, but it is what it is, competition, right?
Yeah. Right.
It's capitalism at work. So, but no, it's a blast, and a lot of good stuff down there. A lot of great times. So if you get a chance and you hadn't been, definitely try and do that. If you're watching this and you're more local, definitely recommend trying to get down to it for one of the days, whatever day it may be. Cincinnati just does a great job. It's going to be at Sawyer Point and Eastman's Cove, which are both like right off the river and stuff. So knock on wood, good weather. Hopefully there's no issues down there or anything along those lines, but it's a blast. It's a blast. So that'll be the big thing coming up here in a couple weeks. And then we're talking about, I mentioned garage beer. So garage beer, that was another big story that took place this week. I don't know if you saw that out there, stretching it out from, I guess it's still like Ohio, because I think the Kelsey brothers are up there, right? Yeah. So they just got a huge, like $200 million investment into them from one of the investment firms. So they've got money to play with a little bit. And unfortunately for like Braxton, they actually, I guess, sold out their remaining interests under them. But, that allowed Braxton to actually do some more things on their end from the money they got infused as well. But it's crazy just because this place was here. It was a local that like blew up more than probably anybody here had ever thought anybody will blow up. And it's just kind of cool seeing them expand. And the Kelsey brothers, for those that may not know, they actually played ball for UC. So that's why they're tied back to Cincinnati. And that's why they knew about Braxton having it, and great opportunity they were able to take advantage of. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. And garage beer, to me, and I know you've had the person on from Kentucky before, it's the same type of thing. We're going to make one beer, and that's pretty much it. It's like we're doing the one thing. We're going to do it as best we can. Now, I will say they have the regular garage. They do have a lime version.
The lime. I haven't had the lime.
Yeah, the lime's not bad either, but I'm not sure they're going to expand out past that. So a little bit different in Kentucky, just stays with their one cold snack one. But they're doing something that's hitting home. And for a lot of people that have been getting their stuff, it's relatively inexpensive. I think it's still considered to be like a craft beer, as far as I know. You get a 12-pack of it, and I think a 12-pack might be around $11.99, $12.99, whatever it is. It's not huge, like versus some of the other craft beers. It's more than what you pay for that, but versus the macros, it's right in the ballpark you would want to be in. So you talk about an easy drinker. Like if you're a golfer, like people in the golf course love having like this beer out there. It's such an easy drink where you're not getting hammered. You can just knock them back.
Yeah, I mean, I had somebody from Garage on, like when they were starting to expand into Illinois. And they were just saying, we're going to stick to what we know. We're going to have the lime. We're going to have the regular. And I mean, the person I talked to, I don't know if he's still with them, but he was like, this is what we do. It's beer flavored beer. We're not going to have, grapefruit or anything like that. This is it. It's a beer you could have in your garage. Now that they're so big and have the Kelsey brothers, I don't think I'll get them on again. But it was cool to talk to somebody from Garage when they were coming out.
Yeah. What's the odds that garage beer is going to be the beer for the wedding, right? If Travis and Taylor, I almost forgot her name. I mean, sorry, I'm not huge in the whole Taylor thing, but I know of her. I know who she is. But yeah, if they have a wedding, I'm sure that'll be the draft of choice there, right?
Yeah.
And I know the brother Jason loves putting them away too.
Yeah.
So
now,
yeah,
but again, I'm sorry. Do you see, like, I don't see a lot of people here drinking it, and maybe it's just because there's just so much good craft out there, and there's local Chicago breweries doing their version of a craft macro. So I don't see a lot of people drinking Garage.
Here we see a good amount because it's based out of the roots of Cincinnati.
Yeah.
So you'll see a lot of people buying it from Kroger and a lot of the beer stores, and they'll be drinking it. Like I said, people that golf, play softball, whatever it may be, that beer that you would have around is an easy drinker to actually do. Yeah. Long work done, grab a Garage beer when you're done playing poker games with buddies, grab a Garage beer. You're not getting all hammered. You're not going to take all your money because you're too drunk. You know, you can have that versatility. You have that tie to it. But that's one of the things they're going to do with this additional money, I believe, that was funded in to help them get more distribution across the country. So it's tough, you know, because we know from working with and talking with a lot of the people in craft beer that community has gotten tougher. So a lot more people are community sensitive on what they're actually drinking. Dollars are definitely getting tighter for people in the economy, so they're choosing a lot more of their community-based type stuff. But at the same point, if those community ones become too expensive and you got like something like this, you can say, oh, I'll just grab this one. It's not one of the big, you know, conglomerates. And at the same point, I can save a few bucks. So it's just finding that space for it, you know. But you'll see, I think you'll see more marketing coming out for them on getting it out there on stuff. But it's definitely it's an easy drinker. I'll give them that. It's just so funny because if you ever came here and you went to Braxton, their craft line is so great. And it's just like, it definitely seemed like that was the oddball out for what they do from the craft side. It's kind of like you're making that, and it was ahead of the game. It was ahead of the lager push we see now. Yeah. So they came up with this back in 2018. Everybody was still in the IPAs. Everybody was still giving me the pastry stout, give me all this and that. And like their dark charge is a great imperial stout they put out. It was kind of like the redheaded stepchild there. Yeah, over here with this Garage like lager, and now it's like huge. So
yeah, I think like them and the brewery in Grand Rapids we don't talk about when they had put out Solid Gold. Those came out around the same time, you know, 2018-ish. But yeah, they were definitely ahead of the curve.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, that was that other one. But the other one, like that Solid Gold, never really. To me, it didn't gravitate as strong as what Garage beer may have had done, you know. So, but yeah, it was out there, and then they're all day still gets a lot of people, I know. But so if you happen to see it out there, if you hadn't seen it, you probably will see it now because they got money to play with. So, probably coming to a beer store near you. One that is going to be making some changes that I saw as we go out to more of a national perspective. I'm not sure how far their distribution goes, but we do get them here, or we were for a period. I'm not sure if you actually get them where you're at, but I saw this earlier with Hop Valley. So Hop Valley is now going to be closing and relocating their Eugene, Oregon pub within the next 12 months. So Hop Valley Brewing, are you familiar with them? Have you had their beers?
I know the name, but we don't get them here, so I've never had them.
Yeah. So basically they're under Tilray now. And so they announced they're going to be winding down operation in Eugene, and they'll keep the tap room open, but they're going to be changing some things there is what they're saying. So they do some decent beers, I think, from what I've had. I've gotten their variety pack before. I got one of their 12 packs one time when we went down to it wasn't Gatlinburg. I think it was when we went down to the Gorge, and I was surprised. I was pleased with the beers, but I had not heard of them, and I thought they were all pretty decent. Now under Tilray, I guess you're still considered craft for the Tilray brands, because I think they don't consider them as being like the macro type ownership, but it's still kind of weird trying to figure out who is craft and who is not craft anymore.
Yeah.
And if people really care as much about that anymore. I mean, I know some do, but I think there's definitely a growing number that are just like want to have a good beer.
You want to have a good beer at a decent price. You know, you were mentioning with like Braxton and the Garage, people here will still drink Goose Island, even though they're owned by AB InBev, and a lot of the stuff that you're drinking is made in Pennsylvania. But, you want a solid beer at a good price. And I think that's, nerds like us are going to drink local and going to drink craft. But I think for a lot of people, you got to go with the wallet.
Yeah. That's more and more nowadays, seeing some of the stuff that's coming out. And I think we've now got the position that we have more people without jobs than jobs that are hiring, right? So we're definitely seeing some things happen in the economy. So it'll be interesting, but it's sad to see when they're well known in that area, and they're going to have some people displaced. So that's always sad to see. Mm-hmm. But at the same point, it is part of the business cycle. Yeah. It is something that companies have to go through, unfortunately. And we see the ups and downs all the time. So maybe someone come in as a new buyer, and next thing you know, might be a new brewery out there. Yeah. We'll have to see. So the other thing too that I saw and I don't know where this idea came from, it's kind of bothersome a little bit. Like, why is this happening? Like, ice cubes in beer. Somebody's got to explain this to me. I have no idea why this is happening out there in the world, but this is a new trend, and it's a new trend that seems to be happening with the younger folks. 28% of 18 to 35-year-olds are putting ice in the beer. They're ordering beer and they're putting ice because, to keep it cool or cold. Or like, if you just want a watered down beer, why not just get a Coors? Get a Coors Light, get a Miller Lite, get something.
Or turn your refrigerator down to 45 or something. Yeah.
Right. But this has actually been a trend, and I don't think anybody knows how it started or why it started, but it's something they're definitely seeing with the younger folks.
Yeah. No, that's something I'd have to pull to get off my lawn when if I saw that. My son, don't go there.
Right. Just reading some of the stuff in here is funny. Like, I have to say that sounds like a lie, and yet there's undeniable proof of it in the form of a survey of 2,000 people that were recently commissioned, where this is actually happening. The true number of icy beer fanatics is probably higher. I see mainly women put ice in wine before. And I don't know why they put ice in wine either, but
it started in France. No wonder.
Oh, okay, France. Well, there you go, in the southern region. It's normal to do it on a hot day.
Yeah. Here, get some refrigerators out there.
What happened to just getting a frosted mug and putting the beer in a frosted mug?
But that's even worse. Like, and I know, like, my grandparents, God rest their soul, they always had the frosted mug, and that's all they would drink out of. And back then, you didn't know any better. You were a kid. You're like, oh, this must be the way to go. And then it just dilutes and waters down your beer, and beer shouldn't be drank that cold.
But I do remember when people would put like some of their beers in a freezer. Like, some people and it was mainly more the macros, where it's almost like ice chips in it. So the ice thing I do get somewhat, because people will put it into the freezer, but it'd be like a Miller High Life or something along those lines. But you're drinking those usually fast anyway, because you don't want to get warm, right? So,
and then you'd forget about the one, and you'd forget about it, and then you'd wake up in the morning and your freezer was a mess because that exploded in your freezer.
Yeah. You realize I shouldn't do that anymore. But but that's just weird. Like, just to me, like, if you're serving the beer and someone says, "Can I get some ice to put in the beer? Can you put?" I don't know how I would take that when I was bartending back in the day. I'd be like, "Are you messing with me right now? Are you serious? Is that a real question?" And
you're looking for a camera. Yeah. By being punked, what is this?
But I guess it's however you enjoy it, however you like it. I mean, some of these kids want ice in their beer. Speaking of beer, I'm going to get another one. You're still drinking that one, right? So do you want to hold off, or?
I'll get another one. I mean,
okay.
We got to do the one we're going to have together.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
All right.
You want to do that now?
Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll grab it right now.
Okay. So I'll grab this here and let Dave go ahead and get that one there. But yeah, for you guys watching, or if you're watching this back on a replay, or on the podcast listening to us, let us know. What do you think about ice in beer? Have you ever done that? Have you ever thought to do that? Is that something that's even crossed your mind in any way? Would you put ice into beer? Let us know for sure. I just don't see why that would ever come up in anything, but maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm just the old guy at the bar now. Like in my day.
Yeah. You never wanted to be the old guy in the club, or now we're the old guy in the bar. Yeah.
Right. You just drink the damn thing, you know? Yeah. So the next beer I'm going to crack open here is going to be one that actually I received and Dave also received. It's going to be the Firestone Oktoberfest Oak Aged Lager. And each of us have a review on our channels. If you haven't checked out the channels, make sure to do so. Of course, I mean, if you're here, you know my channel, but if you're on Dave's, you know his. But if it's vice versa, because we are simulcasting this across both, make sure to check out those reviews. But it's an Oak Aged Lager, comes in at 5.2%. Firestone was kind enough to send these along for us to check out after they actually sent us a variety packs as well. And I will say on my review, I was pretty pleased with it. The only thing that got me is if you put Oak Aged Lager on it, I want to get oak. And I feel like I didn't get oak coming through enough.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely picked up the oak, but it wasn't like overpowering.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a barrel-aged, beer by any stretch, but I definitely noticed the oak on that.
I figured because it was just lighter. Now I'm used to drinking oak barrel aged, anywhere from, I don't know, 10, 11 up to 15, 16% type thing. So it kind of hits you a little bit more. I just feel like the oak didn't come through as much. Dave can't hear me right now. I don't know if you guys can hear me right there, but everything says I'm going through. So I don't know. We've had some issues with StreamYard for a little bit. So hopefully it's all working. You hear me now, though.
Yeah, I got you now.
Yeah. So I don't know what's going on. It might be we talked earlier. It might be the NFL crashing out the internet right now since they're on YouTube with their games and stuff. But I just felt like I expected to get a little bit more of that. But overall, I ended up giving this one like a 4 out of 5 when I did the review. I thought it was definitely very good and solid, easy to sit back and enjoy. Good flavor, good mouthfeel, not heavy at all. Mm-hmm. You got a nice balance between the malts and the hops, and just an easy drinker. But I mean, it's Firestone Walker, so you kind of go in knowing they're going to know what they're doing, right? So
yeah. Now, I definitely picked up, and it's not overpowering by any stretch, but it's there. It's like on the back end. It's, from what I read, it was like French oak. I'm like, it's an Oktoberfest. You couldn't find, they don't grow oak trees in Germany that you could, do this in, but I thought it was solid. I bought this before, like, Rod mentioned, they sent this to us. So, take it for what it's worth, but I have bought this before and have enjoyed it. I think it's a decent, solid, more of a fest beer style. It's kind of hard to tell, but it's not
it is
dark. But I think it's a good beer. It's something that's solid, dependable. If you want something a little different than your usual fest beer or Marzen, I think this one's worth picking up.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely buy it as well. I think it's got a good quality to it, also. And the sweetness is there, but it's not anything over. Like, and I get a little bit of like, it's not fully like a toffee caramel, but it's something of that sweetness, but it's just enough to give you that little bit of a flavor in the background, right?
Yeah.
So it just comes through just enough there. So it's solid.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not like toasted oak like you would get in a barrel age. So it's probably just, fresh oak or,
right.
A brewery's biggest Firestone Walker. It's not going to be in a barrel. I'm sure they use like oak, like spirals or something like that they're getting the oak character from. But I mean, it's still a solid beer. Absolutely. I mean, you get a little bit of it. I mean, it's more than your Beechwood than you're getting out of a Budweiser.
Yeah, definitely. But if you guys get a chance, I would definitely say check that one out as well. And them reaching out to us, Dave in Chicago, me in Cincinnati, Ohio, him in Illinois. They're definitely still expanding their distribution out. So it was kind of funny. I doing the Firestone beers. Before I moved to Baltimore, I could hardly find Firestone around here. I moved back, and now I can get them, find them in different spots, and they're reaching out and stuff. So good to see. And the other thing we look at here. So this is one that you actually came across as well, and this was off the unfortunately the Gordon Bowker passing away, which I didn't realize the whole tie to Starbucks.
Yeah.
Also with the beer, with Red Hook. So he actually co-founded Red Hook, but then also later on was a person that helped to invest to get Starbucks rolling. So,
and like way back, and it was out for a couple years, and it was even distributed here in Chicago, but they did a coffee stout that was used with Starbucks coffee, and it even said on the label, and I even had a magnet that God only knows where it is, but I forget the name of the stout now, but it was like brewed with Starbucks coffee. And I'm on my second marriage. My first marriage, the honeymoon was in Seattle, and we went to the Red Hook brewery and had that there on tap. So I've always been a big Red Hook fan. Like the early days of craft beer, they were one of the first. They had a distribution deal with Anheuser-Busch back then, so you were able to get them here in Chicago. But like the Red Hook ESB was such, like, it was one of the OGs in craft beer. Like that was one of the ones you could get. You could get that. You could get your Anchor Steam, your Sierra Nevada Pale Ale, your Samuel Adams. But Red Hook ESB is a forgotten beer, and that was a rock solid beer. So I mean, rest in peace to Gordon. But yeah, Red Hook is always one of my favorites.
Yeah, and I remember having ESB being as solid as it was. And interesting thing here, so he actually founded it with the other two founders to open up the first location, but it was actually Bowker that came up with the name for Starbucks.
Yeah.
So, Red Hook, Starbucks, came up with the name, got them rolling. I mean, that's a good established career he had over there. I mean, I hope he got some pretty good shares when he left Starbucks.
Yeah,
Starbucks blew up like crazy, right? Yeah. So, So, cheers to him and the success that he had out there, and raise a glass up to him. If you're having a coffee tomorrow morning at Starbucks, raise a coffee up to him as well. But,
but God, I can't think of the name of that beer now, but that was so good. And I remember like it was here, and like a friend of mine had that and said that's the most disgusting thing he's ever had. But this was like 96. It had to be like 1996. So this was before, craft beer, anybody even knew about it. The darkest thing you might have had is a Guinness, and this was a lot stronger than Guinness. So it was a phenomenal beer back then. I would love to like have that again one more time, like that, or another like a Pete's Wicked or something like that. That is a long forgotten beer.
You get it one more time.
Yeah.
play it again, Sam. Yeah.
Yeah.
And speaking his passion, but also biggest news. One of the biggest news on a national scale that came out this week was unfortunately the upcoming closing of 21st Amendment. And get this off my screen. There we go. I think it's on there now. Yeah.
Expedia, where are you
wants
looking
to try to lock up. No, my computer switched over and that was stuck on the screen. Let me go back.
Now you're traveling to San Francisco, Rod? What are you doing? You going somewhere without me?
Right. I am going out to San Francisco and find out what the hell's going on. Let's try this one more time.
Yeah.
There we go. Now it should be up there. Maybe. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Computer's kind of wigging out on me a little bit. So big news about 21st Amendment closing their doors. I think it's going to be by November is when they're going to be shutting down. And sad to see really good beers they put out over the 25 years, right? And one of the most notable one was their Hell or High Water. And a lot of people like the watermelon. That was a big flavor for them. When that came out, it was almost like they were selling that like crazy. And the report came in saying that a financial lender told them they would not fund the company any longer, and it led to some other stuff. So I guess times have gotten tight, and they have to go ahead and make that change with some of the things happening in the craft beer world. They're going to have to shut it down. But was there a 21st Amendment beer that you had? Or was it like the
the
Hell or High Water was one of your favorites?
The Hell or High Water and the watermelon were the only two I ever saw here. And they were, they were decent beers, but 15 years ago, 10 years ago, that was the thing. Breweries were just big and expanded, and everything was national, and it just, they were okay stuff. I don't know. I mean, personally, you should just stay in your area, be the, big fish in a small pond, but they were the small fish in a big pond, and this is what happened.
Yeah. I mean, they had some pretty good prominence, I think, over time. I think he's popping up there. The Brew Free was one that I've had that was probably the first one I had from them. And then the Hell or High Water, I had High Watermelon I had later on. But the Brew Free, I can remember having that at one of our local spots I had on tap, and I thought that was a pretty decent IPA when that came out. But something like this can happen to so many breweries that are out there, right? So now they're looking here like there was a decline due to alcohol consumption or that move to hard seltzers or whatever it may be. But at the same point, it's all the breweries kind of face that kind of headwind, and it's one of the things you got to do is kind of reinvent yourself. There was a post I saw earlier on LinkedIn from one of the beer groups talking about having people come to the brewery, like, what are you doing to make your brewery attractive, essentially? And we've talked about in the past where you got to make it like a destination spot nowadays for people that want to go to your brewery. Otherwise, it's easy to get knocked out the box. And
can you scroll back up for a second?
Shut down.
Can you scroll back up for a second? Like right there. Go back a little bit down, bit down. This paragraph underneath that picture. I mean, like right there. I mean, I'm getting tired of seeing like breweries and stuff blaming this on Gen Z. You need to adapt. Other, generations don't need to drink more. The brewery needs to adapt and stop putting the blame on Gen Z or COVID.
No, I can definitely agree with that as well. It's one of the things, the discussion points going back to the conference earlier this year is, what are you doing to meet the consumer where they are?
Yeah.
And we have different discussions. There was another post, and every few weeks it pops up about kids at breweries, right? Yeah. And some people hate them, some people don't hate it, some people love to be able to do the family type thing. If you got a business model you're trying to build, and if it's going to make you have success by being able to have people be able to bring their kids or whatever, like you're not trying to make it a daycare, but the more access you can provide makes it a better opportunity for your business. Now, if you're a parent bringing your kids, all I would say is make sure you're taking care of your kids and not thinking other people have to watch your kids. They're your kids. Like the beer tenders and everybody else is going to watch your kids run around, and we don't want them causing accidents and having people wait staff trip over them, all that kind of stuff. So sometimes I think parents let that get away on their end. But if you have an area there and you can have a little spot off to the side and they have like the little Uno games and Sorry or Monopoly or whatever like that, the kids can go in that little corner and still have a little bit of fun there. The parents can sit back and have a drink or two. And if that's going to make it more successful for you, that's what people are looking for. you got to look to see how you want to adapt. If
Yeah.
that's going to be your new business model, and then you got to come out and be able to stand behind it and provide that kind of stuff. Now, if that's not your model and you're like, no, we don't want them at all, blah, 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 then you better be sure to come up with a plan on how you're going to get people in there, that are going to be able to spend enough to be able to do that. Because you're looking, like we talked about earlier with some of the economy type stuff, some people don't have the dollars in their wallets now to be able to spend at your brewery too. So you're in the hospitality business.
Yeah.
You got to be hospitable, you got to be welcoming, you got to get people in the door that want to celebrate with you and come out there and say, oh, I had a great time. I love coming back to this place.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like the thing we talk about the NA stuff, the breweries that are coming out with some of their NA stuff, or if they don't have NA, like both us we talked about before, like Go Brewing ambassadors, Go Brewing will say, don't worry about making NA. We'll supply you with our stuff.
Yeah.
But you got to have an option there, because if you have 10 people going out and 2 people say, well, I don't really want to drink, well, we can go to so-and-so and have NA options. Mm-hmm. Those 10 people are more apt to go to that bar because they want everybody to go together than the bar that doesn't have options, right? So you could be cutting yourself out of a piece of the pie. Yeah,
I mean, you want to give somebody, especially if 10 people are out, maybe the person that doesn't drink doesn't want to be sitting there drinking a water or a Pepsi or a Coke. So you give them an NA. And you know what? You're still selling it at a markup. So why exclude those people?
Right. And it's kind of like when we started seeing back in the day with breweries that started having like wine there.
Yeah.
There were some people that wanted to drink wine. They didn't want to drink beer. One of the breweries that were able to say, hey, we have wine too. We're able to get a bigger audience. Those that said, hey, we also have distilled spirits. We can pour you an old fashioned here while your other friends drink a beer. They end up having a different and a bigger type audience. So it's not about you, right? It's about the consumer as we go into our regular Joe Dirt thing. It's not about you. It's not about me as the consumer. You may only like sparklers, but sparklers aren't going to sell to get people in here. And I feel like sometimes breweries lose that part of it. They missed out on being able to understand that part of the aspect. Everybody loves their beer, everybody starts out homebrew, and I feel like they're proud of their beer. It's like, I want to open a brewery so everybody sees like my beer, but it's like you got to also move with that market, because at some point people are going to be like, oh, there's another beer over there, there's another beer over there, there's another beer over there. It's not about just getting a pint anymore. It's about getting a pint and having an experience.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate we're going to keep this adults only and all that, but I don't know if that's a hill you want to die on when you're trying to make a business and you want to be successful.
Right. I mean, the market's going to always dictate what a lot of business have to do, and whether it's beer or any other type of industry, is always about meeting the consumer where the consumer is and being able to provide the service being desired. So just a piece of information that breweries want to make sure they consider, so to speak, our 2 cents on the whole thing. And I think some breweries are definitely getting that now. I think some are paying attention to that and adjusting where they can, so. But like here we had Listerman's that closed, which was a great staple. I mean, Listerman's was just a weird type thing in itself, because they were like one of the OGs of Cincinnati, but they were literally right off of Xavier's campus. You're thinking you're off a university's campus. Every year you got steady drinkers turning 21. You got to study, and they just think, I guess, not that they didn't keep up. Things have kind of changed, and we do have a lot of breweries and stuff that are here, but what did you do to kind of tie into that more? Did you tie into like some college night type program? Did you tie into some different things to kind of entice that? Because you should have a drawn base every year coming from that university to your spot. So it was kind of a weird type thing that happened there. And then we had one that was just funny. So this is just what I saw before we went on tonight, which is kind of a weird type thing. So this is out of Minnesota, and it is for this Minocqua Brewing Company.
They're Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
I'm
sorry, not Minnesota, Wisconsin. Right. I'm sorry. Yeah. Tensions brew as neighbors complain about noise. I'm like, well, whose idea was it to put a brewery in the middle of the neighborhood? Like, if that was going to be an issue.
Yeah. And I have
we're not talking about a library.
Yeah. I have a Minocqua glass and I have a Minocqua coffee cup. And if you know anything about Minocqua, you know their politics. And we don't talk politics on this, but they're left. Like I'm left. They're more left than me. And they just like get into so much trouble. Wisconsin is, and that part of Wisconsin is right. Yeah. So they just like poking the bear and the bear pokes back. I don't know. Sometimes you just gotta like take your losses and just don't poke the bear.
But I just think it's so hilarious.
Yeah.
I think you dropped out there for a second.
I hear you.
I think it's so hilarious for people to complain about being up tonight here. Let's see. I see everybody spinning right now.
That's that extra beer you had.
Are we back? Can you hear?
I can hear you, but I have like, it's like a commercial playing in the background. I have like a woman's voice in the background.
Maybe that's causing
us
to crash a little.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's coming through that thing. So I'm trying to exit that page because I think that's causing an issue. But anyway, you would think. All right, there we go. You would think there would be proper zoning.
Yeah.
That would be like, okay, we're putting a brewery here. Like, did people not go to the city meeting? Like, we don't think we need a brewery in the middle of the neighborhood or whatever? Or is it like they didn't realize what was going to happen when the brewery got there?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a lot more than that. And I get their emails and I don't know. I mean, like I said, I agree with their fight, but sometimes you got to know what you're getting into yourself. And
yeah,
I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm older. It's just like sometimes you just don't. You got to pick your battles, And
well,
and they pick a lot of them. And they pick a lot of them.
Now that might be other top. Well, at least on that story, they were saying it was about the noise, but now they're having rallies over there too, and it's like people speaking about stuff. The other neighbors that might have their different political view might complain about that, but it seemed like some of the stuff they were showing were about bands playing there, like whatever. So I don't know. It's just kind of a weird thing. You put a brewery in the middle of a neighborhood. You got beer, you got adults. It's going to get loud. It's just not. It's not going to be like a library type thing. Oh. Small bad told me that you were leftist doesn't mean anything with beer.
Yeah.
Don't even. So I mean, you can still enjoy the beer. But it's like, but you said they were like far left. But it's interesting to actually see that to take place. And then the other one I had, which was the last news story, because like I said, it was a quiet news week for the most part.
Yeah.
I saw something on Yahoo, which I thought was interesting. I thought was pretty funny. And this was basically taking a look at cheap beers you should avoid buying according to customer reviews. So any thoughts? Any thoughts that what might be on the list here? Any thoughts on the cheap beers you might want to avoid offhand?
Probably some of that shit I drank with bum wine last week.
Whoops. Can you hear me, Dave?
I hear you. You froze.
Oh, yeah. Hey, you're the one that decided to go with Steel Reserve there.
Yeah. That Steel Reserve. Yeah. Now, the Steel Reserve was better than that other thing I had. God, that was bad.
What I'm going to do is I don't know if that is screwing with it, but I'm going to stop sharing the screen, but I'll go down the list here as we talk.
Yeah.
One that should be one I will agree with that should be on everybody's list. Budweiser Select 55.
Oh, God.
Have you ever had Budweiser Select 55?
I've had Budweiser Select, and that was bad enough.
Well, 55, based off of customer reviews, is one person wrote, "This really is the worst beer ever made." That was somebody on Beer Advocate that responded on that one. 55 calories of 1.9 grams of each, but not worth it. I'd rather be fat than drink that beer.
Yeah.
So another one that came up on the list, which is, I guess, is kind of a little surprising. I see people that actually like to drink this one, Natty Light.
When was the last time you had a Natty Light?
I don't know. It's been a while.
I can't say I've ever had a Natty Light.
Right. But I don't remember it being like as horrible to be like one of the worst beers I've ever had. Obviously, it's going to be in that lower tier. I don't know if it's at the bottom of that lower tier. Maybe I should do reviews off this list just to see how bad they actually are. This one I didn't even know existed. Miller Extra Light.
I have seen that.
I've never seen Miller Extra Light.
Yeah. I think that was there trying to get on the Michelob Ultra train.
Yeah. It used to be Miller 64 Extra Light, which I never saw 64 Extra Light, but I saw Miller 64. Some said more like a soda than a beer. One of the worst travesties to have passed my lips, said one person on Beer Advocate. Perfect for having after a marathon, lawn mowing run. Wouldn't consume otherwise, someone else said. What's this one here? When the calories were cut, so was the taste and ABV. This is the opposite of a too high and intrusive ABV beer. And then we also had Keystone Light on the list. I don't remember Keystone Light being another one that was overly terrible. Wouldn't recommend it, but just you know.
But if you had that since the Clinton administration.
No, it was pre-Clinton administration. Yeah, that Keystone Light.
So,
I think.
Yeah, I'm going to say that's bad.
No, it might have been Clinton. Actually, 90s. That probably was Clinton administration. I was in college, so yeah. It was debuted in 1989. Yeah, bottled beer taste in a can. Smooth, never bitter taste. That's what the new slogan was they put on it. Someone said, when you need a beer real bad, it's a real bad beer. Someone said it's gross, but still drinkable. It tastes and smells swampy.
I don't know if that's the beer.
But then we have Natty Ice. What's your thoughts on Natty Ice being on the list?
I'm sure it belongs. I've never had it. But you remember, we're roughly the same age. I'm older than you, but ice beers were big. Michelob Ice was huge back in the late 80s. Then you had Ice House and all these ice beers were coming out. So this just never died, the natural ice.
Yeah. Natural ice being on the list was something there, but you did mention another one that was on the list. So Ice House is on there as well.
All right.
And Ice House, I mean, I used to drink Ice House here and there when I played softball back in the day. Probably not the best move to do, but
no,
it is what it is. I didn't hate it. Bud Light's on the list as well. Bud Light does sell a lot of beers even after their recent stuff they had done. Milwaukee's Best Ice is on the list as well, which Milwaukee's Best Ice definitely deserves to be on the list there.
And then Milwaukee's Best deserves to be on the list.
Well, here's the funny thing. Busch Light is on the list. So in a recent report, Busch Light has now in the position to move to the number 2 beer sold in America, which is good for Anheuser-Busch because now since they lost the spot with Bud Light, they can now come back with Busch Light.
I don't know if I've had
funny
Busch Light.
Probably the people drink a Busch Light were probably which is probably funny because the people probably drink a Busch Light probably swore off Bud Light. It's the same company.
Yeah.
It's the same company though.
I can't say I've ever had a Busch Light or Busch Light Apple. I know that's big.
Yeah, that's big too.
Mm-hmm.
And we also have Mick Ultra on the list. Which I got no problem with Mick Ultra though. I've had Mick Ultra before. I mean, it's a lighter type beer. I mean, I had Corona Light. Corona Light's one. I'm not a huge fan of Corona at all, unless it's a Corona familiar. No. But all the other Coronas, yeah, they can go on the list for me. So yeah. And then we had the Bud Light Clamato Chelada, which really is like kind of a mess in a can in itself.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I like Cheladas.
Some interesting ones. Any other beers you're thinking?
I mean, I like Cheladas. I don't want anything that's got clam in it in a beer. It's just no. Yeah. That's just no. God, no.
I know people like the Modelo. I know people like the Modelo Cheladas.
Yeah, I mean, that's okay.
Yeah.
I don't want clam juice in my beer. Call me a traditionalist.
But Dave, you drink craft beer. There's always different stuff going in it you didn't think should go into beer probably at some point or another.
Not clams.
Well, you get oysters in beer.
I don't drink that either.
Either the Flying Dog, the Pearl Necklace, that's got oyster.
I don't do that either.
It's a good beer, though. I've had that one before. So if you had to add beers to the list,
that's probably why you have to take the blue pill, because I don't have the oyster beer.
It keeps you running steady. So yeah. It's oyster. Yeah. But so that was the beers on the list. What any other ones you would add on to it that you think like your cheap beers that people shouldn't drink? Obviously, I know you would say like Still Reserve or something like that because you just had it recently.
You know what? I was expecting a lot worse from Steel Reserve, and while it wouldn't be the first thing I reach for, I've had worse. So, that was passable.
Yeah. But what about like a Pabst or a Colt 45 or
it's been a while since I've had a Colt 45, and I need to do one on the show. So I will definitely be on the lookout for that, because I do have a Billy D. Williams Colt 45 patch that I want to put on a brewer shirt. Yeah, but I do want to have that. But like, to me, Coors Light was just horrible. Like that's just brutal. Like, I would never drink Coors Light. Like, Miller Lite was passable, but Coors Light to me was like the worst light beer that was out there. I mean, if that's your thing, God bless you. It's just not mine. I'm okay with whatever you drink. But
so you thought Coors Light, like if you'd put Coors Light, Miller Lite, and Bud Light in a ranking, like how would you rank them out? Like what would be top to bottom?
I had a Miller Lite not that long ago, so that's fresher in my mind. It would probably be Miller, Bud, Coors.
Okay. Miller, Bud, Coors. Okay. In the battle of light beers. And welcome, Tina. How do you guys feel about that? I
like dank beers.
I like dank beers. I feel like dank is overused in the craft beer world, but that's the word that gets used, right? So But beers that are kind of like that resiny quality type stuff, I do get into those. Although you usually have that with the IPAs, right? And so IPAs can burn me out for points at times, but I do like it as part of it. Like a lot of people that I say a lot of people, there's been some people that I know that aren't a big fan of the Sweetwater G13 or G13, G20. They're weed like type beers. There's no hemp or anything in it, but they kind of make it to resemble a weed type situation. And I find that to be an enjoyable type beer, but it can be overpowered for some people.
Yeah.
G13. And so it's a matter of preference, I guess. But any like IPA, like a lot of them, when you're drinking a fresh, you're going to have that dank appeal. I think that comes through in a lot of them. So yeah, I just feel like I just wish people whenever but I don't know what else you would put for it. If it's dank, it's dank. I just feel like it said so much nowadays. It's almost like we talked about the Oktoberfest beers. If you had all year round, would it lose appeal? It's like dank's one of those words that loses appeal because it's just used so much. But then what else do you use for it? I mean, resiny or weed-like, whatever you want to do, still comes back to being dank. But yeah, I drink those, and me, I love finding the new Rouse beers. I love smoky beers, which I am going to do some different stuff here. I actually I don't know if I told you, but I got a smoker for drinks. I haven't used it yet since I've got it, but you put it on top of the glass and you put like there's oak and cherry wood and different stuff. You put
like
it into it.
Dome or over it?
It's just like a little thing. It's like a little thing you just put on top of the glass and you turn it on in like 20 seconds. It smokes it. And they like talked about it, using it for whiskeys and all that kind of stuff, which I'm going to try as well, but also for beers to try to see how that comes out. So I will be doing a video at some point there about that.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, so Tina said the Sweetwater Dank is my favorite. I'm a hazy IPA fan. Rarely deviate. However, now that fall is here, I try to expand my horizons. Remember the smoky beer Sam Adams had years ago. Which one does Sam Adams have?
I don't remember a Sam Adams smoky beer, but I'm intrigued.
Did they do a Rouse beer maybe? Because they have like 60 to 80 beers they have put out.
Yeah.
No,
I'm curious about that now. I would definitely try that.
Let's see if I can see what that was here. I would definitely give that a go too.
I'm trying to think like maybe the triple bock.
Try to see if I see anything here. They did do an experimental Rouse beer at one point.
Mm-hmm.
They did the Bonfire Rouse beer.
Okay.
And they did the Long Shot Smokehouse. They did as well. But I don't know if it was one of them. Looking on Untapped, a lot of people didn't really like them too much, it looks like.
I mean, that's such a niche market to begin with.
Yeah.
That I think for a big brewery like that just, bound to fail. It's so niche, but
yeah.
I mean, we both love them. I mean, I have a Rausch beer hat, so
yeah. I would say, Tina, if you've never had it, I would recommend anytime if you can get it, X and Kurla out of Germany. I mean, they're the godfather and OGs of Rausch beer. Definitely give them a try because they're phenomenal in everything they do. They actually have an Oktoberfest one too, but they are so good. Yeah. Okay, Bonfire.
Okay,
so that's what I saw on here. So let me go back here. So they did the Bonfire Rouse beer. Deep smoky flavor balanced by a blend of malts that provide hints of caramel and toffee sweetness. 5.7.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah, the last person I saw that shows up drinking it on my Untapped was back in 2016. I had not had that one. Average rating was 2.97 from 1,900 people.
Yeah, that's not good.
It's weird. And then 7 friends I've had that have tried it that are usually pretty good at beer stuff, they give it an average of 2.96. So
yeah.
One of them gave it a 3.75 though.
I mean, Tina, I don't know where you're located at, but Chicago area, Dovetail puts out a Rauch beer, all the time, and that's always really good. But it's just a straight, like, traditional German style smoke beer. That's always really good, but it's something you have to be in the mood for. Like, you're not going to sit and drink a 4-pack of that or a 6-pack in a night, but one every now and then, it's a really good beer.
Speak for yourself, Dave. I love that style. There's a restaurant called the Old New York Steakhouse, PA, Penn State. They serve the best German brews around. The mugs are insane. Nice. Well, yeah, I would say you should be able to get. I mean, if they're getting imports from beers at some of your beer stores from Germany, Excellent Kernel is pretty popular in a lot of states now. And I don't know if it's changed anything with the tariffs and all that kind of stuff, but it's always like, usually it's a bottle. They did go to Canon on some of their beers, I believe, but if you go to a store, you ask for St. Curla and they have it, I would definitely say give that a try, because that's a really good. I mean, that's top of the mountain for me when it comes to that style. You're not going to beat them. Like, if I go to Germany, if I go to Bamberg, first stop right there, St. Curla, which I do want to go to at some point. And also Belgium. So many good beers from around the world. But like we were talking earlier, Tina, before you got here, I'm down here in Cincinnati, so we're about to have the Oktoberfest in a couple weeks, and we have like the biggest one behind Munich. So it's a lot of great German beers, so we get that come through.
But looking at what's going on, I think pretty much the majority of craft breweries in the state have some form of Oktoberfest beer, or a lot of the ones here have an Oktoberfest like weekends or things. So I'm sure no matter where you are in the country, you're going to find a good Oktoberfest celebration to enjoy. And they, like the ones here, all are going to have, your pretzels, your bratwurst, everything. So no matter where you are, I think you're going to find a good weekend to enjoy Oktoberfest.
I mean, you can find some good ones that are out there, but just like beer, they're not all the same, right? So it's kind of like, but you definitely have some big things that take place. And since Tina's in PA, I'm going to go have another Oktoberfest. I'm going to have the Yingling Oktoberfest from Pennsylvania. But I was going to say Tina
I'm
as well.
having the Bells right now, so that's a Michigan beer. Bells, yeah.
And then you said you were making a list there too. I was like, Tina, if you're on Untapped, you can also follow me there, and I have a lot of the different beer stuff there for when I'm drinking and reviewing, all that kind of stuff too. Or on the channel here, if you haven't subscribed yet, you can subscribe and see the reviews and the different stuff. And also Dave, he does reviews on Beer in Front as well. So both of us here. Your friend who does beer reviews, I think you guys will. Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I'm always looking to see other people.
What's his name?
Really funny she says his name. Like, yeah, we know that guy.
Yeah. I know a guy. Yeah, I got. Well, the one thing I saw that we didn't talk about yet, and Missouri's the Midwest, so Boulevard.
Well, here it is. It's James. I know James.
All right.
The Lion. Yeah. So I know James. You tell James Rod J said hello. He knows who I am. Yeah. James got funny this thing when he does the beer reviews. He does the beer reviews. He doesn't do them as much always now, but in the past, he would just do them laying in his bed. Just like laying down, like doing reviews for like 20, 30 minutes. Yeah.
Well, one thing I saw out of Boulevard Brewing in Kansas City, this is inspired by Creed Humphrey. It's a 52-pack. This is a tailgate ready beer, so you could get a 52-pack for your tailgate, and it's actually like a mix pack. It looks like it has like 5 different beers included in that. So if you're having a tailgate, if you're in Kansas City, you're going to a Chiefs game, you're going to a Royals game, you got to check out this 52-pack from Boulevard.
That's crazy.
So it looks like it's got, according to their website, it's got a 12-pack of Quirk lemonade tea, a 12-pack of Boulevard Light, a 12-pack of unfiltered wheat, a 6-pack of Southwest Boulevard, and then it's got a 6-pack of Space Camper IPA and a 4-pack of Cherry Blossom and Lime on top. So I think, for all the different beer drinkers in your crowd, you get this 52-pack at Boulevard for $90.
$90. Okay, I was going to ask how much it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've had the unfiltered wheat before. That was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, James is a trip. Good guy.
Yeah.
I've known him for a number of years there. Actually, I haven't talked to him in a bit, but yeah, he's been doing it he's been doing it longer than I have, I think, on YouTube. So I started in 2015. I think he was doing it a little bit before I started. Oh my gosh. Well, I guess we know what the funny thing is about that, Tina, is so every other week we do the Midwest Beer Show, and the other weeks I do a happy hour live, and I have my buddy Todd on from Indiana. He's in the state with Three Floyds, and I'll get beers that he can't get there where he's at in the state. He's just like, that beer is nowhere around me to be found, but you're over in Ohio and you can pick it up. Yeah. So it is just hilarious how that actually works out.
And I remember back in like 2012, 2013, when Zombie Dust came out, you would go to the brewery in Munster, Indiana, and they would just have a sign in the front window, no Zombie Dust. Like you couldn't even get it there at the brewery.
Well, I can remember when stores would get Zombie Dust, they would limit your purchases.
Yeah.
You only get like 1 6-pack or whatever. And I can remember like people would just go crazy. Like if people stumbled across, it was just like, it was like they would buy as much as they could if they could. But now it's like everywhere. It's almost like Bourbon County. It's just like it's everywhere.
Yeah.
That you can kind of find stuff now. Like you just, and that's the thing, again, going back to the whole Oktoberfest thing, you see it and you're like, oh, I can get that anytime. So now it's like it lost its allure from before when it was hard to get and everything.
I will be right back in 1 second.
Okay. And that's like one of the other things that I've seen now. It's we now get other half here in Cincinnati. We used to not get that. We used to have to get it from the East Coast and have somebody get it over to us. But now we get other half in like 3 or 4 of the stores that I go to. And now it's like, I don't really need to pick it up because I can get it anytime. They've always got other half coming through. And we just started getting like Trillium coming through now. And now that we get Trillium, it's kind of like, you still like to pick it up here and there, but it doesn't have that appeal when you couldn't get it as much before. It's kind of interesting how that actually all comes into play and works out. Yeah, we were talking about the ice beers because one of the articles we were talked about cheap beers that people shouldn't buy. And there were some of the ice beers that were listed on there. There was like an article done by the worst reviewed cheap beers as by recommendations. And they put this list together. I forgot what site had actually done that there. Oh, it was Yahoo. And it said you should avoid buying according to customer reviews. And so we kind of got into talking about that. No, Zombie Ice is definitely a nice one as well. I've had that. I've done a review on that one here in the channel and stuff. And Zombie Ice can almost get you in trouble though, too, because they like to put those into the stovepipe, the 19.2 ounce cans. So you have like 2 or 3 of the Zombie Ice. If you don't know your tolerance level, I mean, you're not used to drinking, I mean, they can definitely knock you back a little bit. But I enjoy that as well. And I'll get Zombie Dust from time to time. But what I like from Three Floyds, I'll get a lot of their stouts, their bigger imperial stouts. Like I think it's their Cocamunga that I've had, which is one of their imperial stouts. It's, I want to say 15% ABV, somewhere around there. And then I'll get some of their other stuff. And last week we were talking about Three Floyds and the whiskey they came out with. So they got whiskey and gin and some other spirits they're putting out now too that I might end up trying at some point. They got a lot of different stuff happening. So they've kind of, even though they're still that brewery, they've kind of starting to branch into distilling and stuff as well. And earlier we were talking about how breweries have to be able to meet the consumer where they were. And Three Floyds has kind of opened up different avenues for them to actually bring in other stuff. So it was kind of cool to see there. But I always enjoy some Three Floyds. I need to go over there at some point. I mean, Munster, Indiana.
Yeah.
Being in Cincinnati, it wouldn't be a bad drive to actually get up there. And 450 North is another one that's
like
on
your way to Chicago.
Exactly.
You're right there.
Right?
If you're going to Munster, you might as well drive up to get a Bad Apple burger.
Yeah. Don't say Bad Apple.
Yeah.
I love some Bad Apple. Yeah. Yeah, the Kansas.
Bad Apple needs to sponsor my ass for as much as we talk about them.
Well, apparently they're doing well if they open a second location, right? So so they're doing okay. The 19.2 ounce can. Actually, there was a report that came out earlier this year, and the 19.2 ounce can is like the second fastest growing. How you want to say it, like delivery system for beer now out there.
Yeah,
as far as growing per segment. So a lot of people are adopting it. Some people just don't want to get a 6-pack anymore, and some might not want the 4-pack. They grab the 19.2. The funny thing, like I said, though, is whether it's Zombie Dust or Zombie Ice, we've seen Goose Island do it with their the one with the bear or whatever on the can.
Yeah,
we're seeing these
bear hugs.
Yeah, we're seeing like the some of the bell. It's like they're putting these 9% plus ABVs in these cans. They're gonna knock some people on their ass after 2 or 3 of those. So
that's like Voodoo Ranger. They're all like the big imperial, loaded with sugar. 10%ers.
Yeah. And it's like that. I always find it funny that people were saying that the bombers were too big in the past and they kind of got away from them. Yeah. Well, now we're only down like 2.8 ounces from being a bomber. Yeah. So it's like that 2.8 was it really that bad?
Yeah. Well, to close us off, I'm not going to do an Oktoberfest, but I am going to do an autumnal beer from Allagash. This is their Haunted House Black IPA. Comes out every year. I'm a big fan of black IPAs. It says this has Nugget, Cascade, and Northern Brewer hops. Really good black IPA if you're a fan of that style.
I have not seen that one.
Oh, it's been here for like the last 3 or 4 years.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually with Allagash, it's always been like Allagash White that I usually see.
Yeah.
Look at some of the others, like Jungle Gyms. We have some of theirs. There's just so many beers. So I was there the Saturday before last with Todd and Shannon. They actually came up Jungle Gyms to bring some friends that actually show what Jungle Gyms is like, and we were all there. Worst thing ever. Don't ever go shopping with another beer reviewer because you're like, did you see this one? Did you see that? Like you're on, and then like next thing you know, your cart is like way too full, right? Yeah. So never go shopping with another beer reviewer. If I give anybody any advice,
you got the wobbly wheels in the cart trying to push it out. Yeah.
We're literally walking out paying somebody's mortgage with so much beer.
Yeah.
But there was so many different things out there. Finally, had to put some stuff down. Like, okay, the store will be here. I can come back another time. you know, but the brewers are like limited release.
Yeah,
you got to get it now. It won't be here 4 months when you come back. And it's just like, so for me now, most of the time when I buy beers I can actually sell her as well. So I'm not rushing to try to drink them. So I limit like IPAs or wheat ales or things along that lines. Usually I get a lot of stouts I can put away for a bit.
Sooner or later, you got to drink that.
You do got to drink and stuff, but it gives me time. I can go into years versus days or months with the other ones or weeks. I've yet to try their beer. Plan to make a trip. Well, don't be loud if you go, because we just see a story about the neighbors do not like loud noises coming from that brewery. So you gotta be like a mouse. Haunted House Black IPA. Wow, black IPAs, and I love seeing when they come out with them. I'm seeing some breweries doing a little bit more again. It went through a phase where you saw them and then they kind of pulled back, but now you're starting to see a little bit more put their toe back in the water, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
21st, yeah, but we talked about it earlier. 21st Amendment is closing their doors. I don't know if you saw that or not. They're closing by November. They're going to be going out of business, and they're basically calling it a career in the brewing. So,
yeah,
unfortunately, but they had so many decent. Like I said, I've had a few of theirs, but I didn't have a lot of them. But I've had a few, and I've always was pleased with them. Like I said, the brew hard, brew free, die hard type one or whatever they did, and
yeah.
I like the higher one. Dave wasn't as intrigued as I was with the higher watermelon, but it was all right.
Now, did you ever have the Ballast Point? They did a watermelon Dorado, and I think that was a double IPA. Yeah. I thought that was really good.
Yeah, I've done the watermelon Dorado. I thought that one was pretty decent. Trying to think back on it. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't one that I would say knocked me back, but I remember being pretty decent in the taste and enjoying that one. Now, I remember doing the habanero sculpin they did.
Yeah.
And apparently someone said, hey, we know it's habanero in there. You don't have to prove it by going as high as you can go with the heat, because that was a hot one.
Yeah. Yeah, that was rough.
Yeah.
I had that there in San Diego, and I'm like, yeah, that's rough. I can't do that.
and I'm a person that loves spice, and I've had pepper beers from all different stuff, but that was one of the hotter pepper beers I've had. There was another one that did a Serato beer one time, and that was pretty hot too. But yeah, it's funny, like when a beer is really good or a beer is really like catches you off guard, they like sear a memory into your brain. Like I remember that one.
Do you remember, and this is old school, Cave Creek chili beer, and they had the chili pepper on the bottom. It was a clear glass bottle, and they had a small chili pepper on the bottom of it. And then when you cracked open the bottle, the chili pepper rose to the top. And that was just like drinking Satan's tears. That was just fire. And I remember, and I'll never forget this, it's the middle of August. It's just hot as hell, and I'm helping a friend move, so we're lifting couches and we're doing all this, and he's like, Dave, you want a beer? Yeah, I want a beer. And he hands me one of these, and I didn't know anything about it, and I'm like, just like a spit take, like, what the fuck are you giving me? It was the worst thing ever.
I have not had the pleasure of having that one, that's for sure.
Yeah. But it's like August, it's hot, you're helping a buddy move. You just want to like crush a, genuine draft or something like that. Just chug a beer. I just had like one sip of this, and it was just like my mouth and my throat was on fire.
Yeah, now in August you get a pumpkin beer. So they are actually closing, Tita. So yeah, they had some of the financial type stuff, and it just, I don't think, maybe somebody will come along and they'll buy them. We'll see what happens. I mean, but right now it's just for being
maybe
closing.
A yogurt guy will buy him in San Francisco. Oh, that's right. That ain't gonna happen.
and make promises he can't keep.
Yeah.
Yeah, the habanero one is definitely. I mean, I like Sculpin. I've had the regular Sculpin and a couple of the other ones, the variants, but I'm just saying the
pineapple was good. Yeah,
the pineapple, the habanero definitely had it.
Yeah,
it just had a different notch on the heat with that one. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. And then you can buy habanero craft syrup. Also, remember Ghostface skill. Yeah. I don't know why you would want habanero craft syrup though. I mean, I guess. Well, maybe if you're doing chicken and waffles or something like that and everything, instead of putting hot sauce on the chicken, you put the craft syrup on the waffle part. And
you a big fan of the Mike's Hot Honey, Rod?
I actually do like the Mike's Hot Honey. I've had it on different things. Yeah. I'll give it a shot. It's not really hot to me though. It's just
Yeah, it's warm.
Yeah. It's like some of the stuff you'll see is like, oh, this is extreme heat, blah blah blah. And it's like, no. It's really not. That habanero Sculpin, that's extreme heat now. It's funny you said that. It made me think of the time I got the Warheads beer from Artisanal. And that was kind of like, I was expecting that to be like a more, you have Warhead's candy, like the whole pucker and in your face type thing. And that one didn't really deliver on that kind of. It was just like they got to deal with them, put on the logo. And it was kind of like a little bit tart, but not like you were expecting to be hit on.
You ever had the Warhead soda pop?
I have not had the soda pop.
Oh, I have a can I could bust open right now if you want.
Wow. Well, you can tell me about it.
Hold on.
If you want to,
Hold on.
Dave's gonna be peeing all night long, folks.
I wake up in the middle of the night, it's on you.
Between the beers and the soda, yeah. I'm trying to think who had the Serrano pepper beer, Tina. Let me take a look here. Might have been Sagatock out of Michigan, maybe. And on the label it was a Serrano pepper, I remember.
All right, so I got the sour blue raspberry soda.
Okay. Now, is this something you just got or something you've had already? You've been drinking?
I bought the lemon one, and I've had this. This might be aged a bit. Does it got a date on here? I'm good. I'm good this month. So this is sour. Oh, wait, let me face the label here. Sour blue raspberry soda from Warheads. It looks blue. It looks like windshield solvent blue.
For Loco blue.
It's sweet. It's not that tart. I mean, it's a little tart, but it's not like, you get those lemon head tarts.
Right.
This ain't nothing.
So it may have been sweet. That might have been like how the beer one just doesn't really kick over the tartness like you expect.
Yeah. Like we had a brewery here at Old Irving that put out an Italian ice beer that was tart, and it was really good. It was a sour beer, and it was really good. So it was like a lemon Italian ice, and this year's was like a watermelon ice, and it was fantastic. But I don't know if a blue raspberry soda pop mixes well with a black IPA. I'm just saying it's not a good combo.
Well, if you could put ice cream into some beers. What's up, Kevin? Cheers to Shark. We got a Shark sighting in the house. Sugar high. Yeah.
Yeah.
Long as it has no lactose, Dave's okay.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Where is this thing? See if I can find it. I'll try to find this one for Tina.
We had nothing to talk about, and we're like an hour and 40 minutes here. Look at us.
Yeah. We
had no news.
Like the regular old sewing club.
Yeah.
I want to say, I thought it might have been Sagatock that had it, but there was a beer. It's got a black label that had a red pepper on it, or green pepper Serrano, but I can't see it on here. But that was one that was more spicy, like it was with the habanero sculpin. Eat a Warhead with that beer.
Yeah, I need something.
Yeah. Jalapeno raspberry IPA. Yeah, actually, one of our breweries here in Cleveland, Ohio, they did a jalapeno IPA, Masthead Brewing. Phenomenal, great beer. I enjoyed that one. I it's like you get those beers where it's like you get a 4-pack and you dread having to drink like the fourth one of it because it was so good. It's like when it's done, it's gone, right? Yeah. So yeah, but it was really good. Relocating. or at least a non-alcoholic Oktoberfest
Yeah,
beer.
I saw that today. I got an email from them.
I didn't see that one. I mean, you got to, you talked about it earlier. You got to make the moves for the market, and the market wants more NA stuff. So,
and their Trail Pass line is good. It's a good NA line. So, Sierra Nevada. I mean, they're not going to put out a bad beer.
Yeah, I've heard good stuff about Trail Pass. I haven't tried it yet. I've been doing more of the NA beers, and also for those of you that have been following, whether it's on here, on the podcast, wherever. I know some of you guys have been taking me up on the offer and try and go brewing, so I appreciate you guys, and hopefully you guys are enjoying. I know some of you are because I see some of you guys are repeat customers now, which is great. Trail Pass is good, Sark said. So yeah, I have to try that one there. I tell you what, the Shoots in their Black Butte right now is probably the best NA that I've had, just because that's one you got to do it side by side with.
Yeah.
Because
have you had
really
the AleSmith? Have you had the Speedway NA, Speedway Stout?
I have not had the NA from.
That's good. That is really good. Yeah.
And I heard Sam Adams just the Haze NA?
Yeah.
Was pretty good too.
Yeah, I have not tried that.
Yeah. Golden Ale isn't bad. Don't get the NA lager. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like I said, it's all good. It's hit and miss. I just did the one review from Go Brewing on the Yuzu Nakamoto, and it was a rice lager, NA rice lager. And it was all right. It was decent. It was decent enough. Like I said, I would drink it again. Actually, I did finish the 6-pack out with no problem, but it wasn't one that hit me like it did. Like, I know with you, I think we're the same. Like, the New School Sour is probably our favorite they put out with the different flavors, but it was still decent. It was still good. It was, I was sitting here, didn't want to drink during the week really as much and break up the routine. I had a few of those and off to the races. Like, so some of their IPA stuff is good that I like. Yeah. And I need to actually get some more stuff from them at some point here. Brewery called New Trail. They make I've had New Trail, and I haven't had the Broken Hill NA though. I've had the regular Broken Hill, so I'll have to check that out as well. The regular New Trail is solid. Just somebody says, "Here's a New Trail beer," I say thank you with no problem. It's just that good. So when I was over in Maryland the last 3 years, that's where I was getting a lot of the New Trail stuff when I was down there. And they had a pretty good distribution out of Vermont with Burlington Brewing Company, which does some really good stuff up northeast. I kind of miss not seeing their beers as much. But you don't want to go into a beer store and say you have any of that BBC, because sometimes it doesn't go over well.
Yeah.
You got to say Burlington Beer Company just so they know.
Yeah. It does for you more than me.
It could throw the people off behind the register. Like, what did you just ask for?
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, this is great. I mean, we didn't have we had some news. We didn't have a lot of news, but we had some stuff there to kind of chat, and it was great having everybody participate. And we always like to spend more time with the interactions even than doing the news type stuff. So that's always good there too. And, for those of you that are new here, every other Friday is when we do the Midwest Beer Show, as mentioned. So we'll have another one in a couple weeks, which will be like the Oktoberfest weekend here in Cincinnati. So we'll have some stuff there talking about. But we talk Midwest because we're both in the Midwest, but we talk national, like some of you saw earlier tonight, on different stuff too. But it's just a fun time to kind of, hey, what's going on in the beer world?
Yeah.
Beer in Front with Dave podcast, YouTube channel. A lot of good stuff to check out. In fact, you could tell them, Dave, what to check out. I'm sitting here talking like you're not even here. Like, you're right there.
Yeah. I'm sitting here drinking my Warhead Sour. But, yeah, you can check me out what happened to that was me. My pop can just hit my mouse. But no, I put out a podcast every week. Didn't put one out last week, but every week talk about, great beer. Sometimes the beer in front of you is the best one yet. Whatever you're drinking, it's a great beer, so enjoy it. Talk about craft beer, beer world, NA beers, THC drinks, try to cover it all, but tune in every week or so on the podcast. Check me out over on YouTube, TikTok, all of that. And, enjoy yourself. Enjoy the beer you're drinking.
Yeah, there you go. And Tina said, yeah, that definitely has evolved. Yeah, it's so funny. It's so funny you mentioned Horny Goat, because for some reason I still get people that pull up the Horny Goat beer review. I see on my analytics where people are still watching that video I did years ago with Horny Goat. So yeah. Are they still around or no? Because I haven't seen their cans in a bit now. I think about it. I don't know if they're still out there or not. Yeah. But you can definitely check out Dave there. And then for me, obviously, if you're here on my channel, I'm on YouTube. Yeah. So I mentioned this. I mentioned the happy hour lives we do on the other off Fridays, trying to get more stuff put up here, more interviews and stuff that I'm working on. So usually during the course of the week, getting people from the brewing industry together. If you haven't checked out the blog, rodjbeerventures.com, or the website, it basically has everything there that is going on. But I also put news stories from around the beer world on there so that you can stay in tune, whether it's me doing something or someone else doing something. The podcast has picked up momentum as well. So you got that out there. TikTok, all that kind of stuff. Instagram, MySpace. MySpace. Yeah. Me and Tom are hanging out now, drinking beers. You just put like Rod J BeerVentures in Google and it's like all this stuff will pop up. But yeah, so we're always putting stuff out here. One of the things I'm looking forward to, as this has been growing, I didn't mention it, but we're talking over the next few weeks for anybody that's kind of local to Cincinnati. We're going to have the River Roots Festival upcoming here in October. And so they just recently asked me to be a presenter there to take people through a beer tasting, and we'll be talking about stuff for that. So that'll be pretty cool to actually be able to do that. And, just all kinds of stuff. If you're looking for things around beer, that's what I try to provide here. The whole thing with what I do is bringing the beer to people, teach people about beer as much as I can, share that kind of stuff, but do it in a fun, entertaining type way. So we always have a blast. We're not beer snobs. We don't try to pick apart everything. If somebody wants to come on and they're drinking a Miller Lite. My buddy Todd that does the happy hours with me, his wife Shannon loves drinking Bud Light. She's on there with us. We just have a blast and just share all kinds of stuff there. So it's all about enjoying the beer and having a good time, really. Let's see here. Starting to enjoy Oktoberfest. Surprisingly, I haven't had too much of a selection so far. I'm just starting to get into it now. This is my time to get into Oktoberfest. They'll come out in August. I'm going to wait to September. So now we're doing that. Before you got on, Shark, I'm actually drinking a Yingling Oktoberfest right now, but had one from Firestone Walker. We both did, and then had one from Sonder, one of the local breweries here. So yeah. Oktoberfest stuff. I'll be rolling out some different things there. In fact, I got a video upcoming next week, which will be the difference between a fest beer and a Mersen. So you know the difference. So you know the difference for Oktoberfest. So I'll be working on that video to get out to you guys as well, and some other things, getting some other stuff like that out besides just the beer review. So stay tuned there. Just had the one video come about Brewdog, which was kind of interesting seeing what they're actually going through over there. But it's seeing some comments that have come back off of it. Like some people have already have moved away from Brewdog even before they got pulled from all the shelves they're getting pulled from. So I always try to keep you guys in the loop. Might need to check to see more get released in the next couple of weeks. So yeah, you got that. Well, you got to get the Oktoberfest out now because guess what? In 2 weeks it'll be Christmas beers. Yeah, so Christmas beers will be soon. They just moved. AOL Messenger.
CQ.
We were talking a few weeks ago. I think it might have been a happy hour, and people were surprised that there's some parts of the country that have dial-up. We're talking about dial-up being. Somebody brought up dial-up being canceled out, and it's there's some parts of the country they still have it out there. Oktoberfest was pretty decent.
Good, solid beer.
Yeah, I liked it. The only thing I said about it really was I wish they had a little bit more. I didn't get as much of the oakiness I would have liked. Dave did get oakiness on his side. But overall, really drinkable, solid type beer. So, and then I got that review already up on the channel as well. But you're out there in California, Shark. So, Firestone Walker pretty much delivers on all they do out there. Well, I still got parabolas and stuff I got to do as well. Beer mongrels, you go brutal. That's the opinion pretty much. And it's funny, some people were like, I cut them off when they ran into the whole harassment type things.
Yeah.
And some people were like, the attitude of some of the management and different things. Like, I didn't realize it here. But I mentioned in the last video I did, they had one in Cincinnati, but someone had let me know, well, they closed one in Cincinnati now. It still says Brewdog on it, but I didn't know it was closed down. So, yeah, so they have had some trouble here as well. You as well, Tina. Great. And definitely do it again. Come back. If you haven't subscribed to me, subscribe to Dave here at Beer in Front. We'll be back in a couple weeks on this, but next week we do the happy hour. You might see Dave on that as well, because happy hour, we just have all different people come on and we laugh and just drink beers. We tell jokes and just more like if you're at a bar having happy hour. Yeah. So we drink beer, but it's not as beer focused. It's just kind of the tension, just to have fun. So we always like to kind of do that too.
It's a breakfast club, but with beer. Yeah.
But beer. There you go. Yeah. Because we're too young to still go to McDonald's and do the breakfast club there. Yeah. See little people coming at 6 a.m. and they got the coffees and stuff. They're sitting around. So yeah.
Yeah, but I'm old enough to remember like breakfast at McDonald's with the little
my car foil, headset. Oh, my
with the little foil ashtrays at McDonald's. Yeah. Well, Rod's having technical issues, but back at McDonald's in my day, you'd go and you'd have the little tinfoil ashtrays, and you'd just have your cigarette and coffee before you go to school.
I
condone that for any children out there, but back in the day, we smoked cigarettes and went to high school.
I do remember the old silver ashtrays at McDonald's, which is hilarious. And it's funny because a few weeks ago when I went to New Jersey, my mom's 80th birthday, I was out driving around town, and I drove past one of the old McDonald's we used to go to. Now, when I was a kid, that McDonald's had the whole McDonald's Playland.
Okay.
They don't have it anymore. I was like, these kids don't even have the Playland at McDonald's anymore, I guess. I guess a lot of McDonald's, when they renovated them, they got rid of Playlands and stuff. But it was like the whole Playland, and it was like if one of your classmates when you were little had a party at McDonald's, and you got that invite, it was like one of the best things of the year, right? Like you were going to McDonald's for the party and the Playland and stuff. Nowadays, you don't have that anymore. So it was a simpler life in some ways. We didn't need as much because now parents just, hey, here's your cell phone or here's your tablet. Go shut up and sit in the corner. So But I digress. All right, y'all. We're going to go ahead and get up out of here. Thanks for everybody that tuned in. Great seeing you, Tina. Great seeing you, Kevin. Everybody else, we appreciate you. I think Vanessa was here, but she had to leave earlier. If you're listening back on the podcast, we appreciate you as well. If you're on my podcast, make sure to check out the Beer in Front podcast as well. He has a lot of great stuff taking place there. If you're on the Beer in Front podcast, make sure to check out the Rod J
BeerVentures. Absolutely.
Right? And that being said, I feel like we've gabbed enough tonight, although I could get another beer and keep going, but we got to save some stuff for next time. So that being said, we are out of here and we look forward to seeing you all then. And last comment here, definitely enjoyed it. Thanks, guys. No one else really likes to listen to my beer stories. My dogs hey, we love beer stories. We always
love dogs. And I love dogs. So Tina, put up your dog pictures next time. I'll bring my dog Moira Rose up here. Yes.
He makes it seem like I don't love dogs. It's not that I don't love dogs. I don't have a dog. My wife's been trying to have us get a dog, and I'm like, if we get a dog, I gotta take care of the dog. She's like, no, I gotta take care. I'll have to take the dog out for the walk sometimes because you're not going to do it. She's like, I'll do it. Yeah, you say that, but
Rod, get the dog. Get the dog, Rod.
And she was like a little dog. Like, if I get a dog, I gotta get a big dog. I gotta have a dog I can wrestle with.
Get a dog, Rod.
I've got a yard now, so we got that and everything.
Yeah.
Although we have deer in our yard nowadays, so the deer come right over. Like I was out there back smoking a cigar, having a couple of beers. A couple of deer come over. They didn't even care. They were just like, usually deer will see people, they like scatter. They were like, just like give me the head nod, like what's up, and they just kept eating the grass or whatever. I'm like, my yard,
Stop.
It's like these deer are not afraid of me. So
get a dog. Just get a dog, Rod.
It may happen at some point.
Hashtag get Rod a dog.
Can I start a GoFundMe for that?
Yeah.
Kevin says, get 2 dogs.
Yeah.
Cheers to you, my friend, and cheers to you, Tina. Definitely come on back.
Yeah.
We're always here. We always have a blast. Love having everybody being a part. And now he's got hashtag Rod gets a dog. All right. Everybody have a great, fantastic weekend out there, and we will catch up with you soon. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.